welcome to the next project. Today I'm doing something a little different. Just another day, but I'm in a new space, so I'm actually getting something done. Yay! But here we go. We are going to take a cheap pair of Amazon case nibblers and turn them into a cheap pair of fret Tang nippers. I will be using a dremel style tool with a cutoff wheel, a little thin disc that spins fast and makes sparks fly, to cut a little groove in the top deck of this. And then I'll also be using a small jeweler's file, kind of a half round file or a crescent file. I don't really know what they call it. It's round on one side, flat on the other. Somebody knows the answer. Just to clean up the cut a little bit, so when the fret wire slides through, it won't be damaging the player side of the fret wire. And this cutting plunger will actually cut away the tang. I will also be testing the pair of these that I modify on some stainless steel wire. I have my suspicions that these won't really be up to the challenge. I'm guessing that the back of the neck of the plunger will fail, but I'm going to give it a try, just so you know. Anyway, let's start the next project. The Amazon version for $14.50, the Amazon StewMac nipper for $67, the same nipper from StewMac for $58, and the high-end StewMac nipper for $80. I purchased my original set of fret Tang nippers from eBay probably 15 years ago. I think I paid maybe $20 for them at the time. This tool is a case nibbler, and it is the exact same tool as my eBay fret Tang nipper. And now this sells for $14.50 on Amazon, which the price will vary. But actually, when I purchased two of these, I think they were $11.50 or $12 a piece. Converting this case nibbler into a fret Tang nipper is pretty easy. Remove the small Phillips screw that holds the cutting deck on and wiggle it off of there. I used a small standard screwdriver to pry it off. And there is a roll pin that helps hold it on, which is for general alignment, and it doesn't do a great job of that. In typical fashion, I always try to do things the quick way, not necessarily the right way. So I just started freehand cutting the groove, even though I knew better. And then I stopped myself. I was like, why be a bad example? I just took a scrap piece of metal and clamped it up against where I needed to cut and used that as a guide, kind of a fence. And it made a great improvement in my crappy little cut. I used a piece of leftover fret wire as a gauge to verify that I had the groove deep enough and wide enough. Then I went in and touched it up as needed and used that half round file, which is arc shaped on one side and flat on the other, and just to clean up the groove so it wouldn't damage the player side of the fret wire. Reassembly is so easy, there's almost nothing to it. You put the deck on the roll pin, tap it into place, screw the Phillips screw back in, and gently align the cutting deck if needed to keep the plunger from sticking. So far the project's going pretty well. Have the cutting deck slit, cut in, and screwed back on now. As you notice, that deck's really only held in place with two things: a little roll pin for alignment, general alignment, and the little bitty Phillips head screw. if you do happen to get a pair of these and use them for cutting fretwire or nipping fret tangs, you're going to notice that occasionally the cutting plunger binds and sticks in the down position once you cut through a tang. That's a price you have to pay for something this cheap. However, it's pretty easy to fix. One, lube the cutter really well before you use it. That helps a lot. Two, the deck can easily get pushed ever so slightly out of alignment, and I typically will just tap it on my vise a little bit and the plunger will pop back up. I have another one of these little nippers I'm going to use, and I'm going to modify it too, and we are then going to cut some stainless steel wire. I really hope it works, but I'm not holding my breath. I really, like I mentioned before, the hardness of the stainless steel wire I think is going to snap the cutting head right off. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Let's find out as we continue the next project. Getting ready to modify the second pair of case nibblers that I purchased, and in this case I'm taking the whole tool apart so I can reverse the direction of the cutting head. This way I'm testing to see if I can make it match more closely what the StewMac base model fret tang cutter looks like and how it performs. With the cutter almost back together and the roll pin ready to go in, I was really tempted just to try and hold that roll pin with my fingers, and that little voice in my head said, no, you've done that before, just find something to hold it with. I'm glad I did. I didn't smash my fingers today. So reversing the cutter plunger can be done on these cheap Amazon case nibblers. So the cutting head is reversed very much like it is on the less expensive set of the StewMac fret tang cutter. There we go, fret tang cutter. So now I've got it all together. Again, it still works, but now I need to take it apart, take the deck off, and cut a new groove in it for fret wire, and we'll test it again. This is how I spend my days. Have a short piece of some stainless steel wire. I really don't think this is going to go well. I probably won't be able to get enough grip on it to make it work. Now shit, it actually worked. Sorry, I said shit. I'm going to cut the other end. Let's see how well this goes. Okay, here we go. Get it in the camera. Dinged my fret wire because I had it in the wrong place. Pretty good. Pilot error, put a little nick in the fret wire right there. A pair of cutters. Nip the ends on one piece of stainless. This is how many is it? It's probably 24 in here. I guess this is pre-cut fret wire. Get out of there. This is FW51100-12 stainless steel. I'll have to look up where I got it from. I don't know. It's all pre-cut. We're just going to nip each end off just to see how many we can get through. I realized I typically feed the fretwire in so the tip of the cutting head has to pierce through the tang and then shear the rest of the tang off. I then started wondering if I should feed the fretwire so the tip of the cutting head doesn't have to pierce the tang but rather just shear. I need to do a little more testing on this and see if it works. It's possible that I'll run into some other issue, but I need to start paying attention to how I perform these little tasks instead of just being a robot and chopping fret wire to pieces. So there you have it. It will cut stainless steel. 15 bucks and a half an hour of your time. If you have a little file, which you probably don't need, but I think it would be a good idea, and a dremel with a cutoff, you might be able to also use a hacksaw blade. Next thing, I recommend WD-40. Thanks for staying with me through this project. It went pretty well. Nice little test. Please subscribe, ring the bell, leave some comments if you would, if you'd like. If not, that's cool too. I like hearing from everybody around the world. That's really neat that we have a good group of people who are all interested in various things and tune in from everywhere. Until next time, please take care of yourself and the people close to you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.